TV. Guide Us TV, watched by many, loved by all. New Muslims, young Muslims, born Muslims, non-Muslims, all enjoy it. Guide Us TV, never ads, always free. Let's keep it free, no ads. Support and share, and get guided with Guide Us TV. And we're coming to you almost live from our studios right here in Southern California, and we have a special guest tonight all the way from Canada, and here he is right now. This is Abu Hafsa. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Yeah. I got half of us. I'm my left half and your right half, so I don't know how to mix it. Let me. It's always something because we don't have anybody here working on that, so I'm the guy. Okay, now let me think. I gotta unlock it. Okay, and then. All right. That's not too easy. Okay. All right. Assalamu alaikum.
What's up, brother?
I got it.
You got it? Already did that?
Yeah.
All clear? MashaAllah.
I don't know it's all clear, but
it's a great start. It's a great start.
I like what you said when we were off air. You was telling me. I said, "What? Where are you? It's black. The whole thing is black." And then you said, "Oh yeah, you guys are the ones that need light. I don't need it."
I used to do that when I was a kid. My parents would go away for the weekend, and I wouldn't think of lights. Like it doesn't register in my head to think of that, and it really should actually. So what would happen? We had this dog when I was a kid, and if my mom would leave the lights on, the dog wouldn't sleep at all. It would just walk around the house, and I'd wonder why. And then if she left it on, it would just. At sunset, the dog would just disappear, and I wouldn't see the dog anymore for the next night because it would sleep in the dark. It was something I would completely forget about turning on or off lights. It doesn't register. It really should.
I remember one time in the hotel when we visited your room. And I said, "Whoa, it's dark in here." You said, I didn't notice.
I didn't notice. It's the Bat Cave. Otherwise known as the Bat Cave, my room.
I love the lot of it. Well, I wanted to pick up where we basically left off last night. And if you don't mind to remind us where we were.
Yeah, we're talking about the various versions of the Bible and different ones that were on display at, I believe it's in South Carolina. The city can't just escape I had it and it just went away. I want to say Hardwire, South Carolina. They had 20 plus versions of the Bible, and we're talking about those and how they differ with each other. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, this is a very
We
good.
covered a lot of ground during that. I mean, that's where we were.
Well, when I tried to go to the Bible Gateway, that was my go-to place to discover what is the Bible and share that with the Christians, and not so that they would leave Islam, but they would be better. Leave Christianity, but I would like for them to know exactly what it says, and then we could try to figure out what the.
I think we left off exactly where we were talking about the book of Jeremiah, decorating trees. Yeah. I'd misspoken and said it was Deuteronomy, and we clarified that it was Jeremiah.
No, it was.
Was it both?
It was both. But when you go to Deuteronomy, it says, "See Jeremiah." I don't know why, but Anyway,
Jeremiah knows more than Deuteronomy. I guess that's how it works. Is Deuteronomy a person? I know Jeremiah is a person. Is Deuteronomy what does Deuteronomy mean? What's the meaning of the word Deuteronomy?
from Deuter, it means a number.
Is it a number?
Yeah, it's a number. I don't
was
know.
unaware of these.
Yeah.
These
The first book is called Genesis, which means the beginnings.
Sure.
The genesis of something is the beginning of it. And then the next book is Exodus, because they were making an exit out of, that's the story of Moses, okay? And
Sure.
then he's taking the children of Israel across the Red Sea. So he exited out, and that's called Exodus. And then the next one is, I'm trying to get the Bible Gateway up here so everybody could see it. Let's see if we can do that.
I have an audio version of the Bible. I have to reference it again so I can keep up with these discussions a bit better, I think.
Ah, right. Okay, well, it's give me products now.
Oh.
Okay, now.
Our profit's not for profit.
Yeah, well, it does have products on it.
Sure.
Okay, well, if somebody wants to buy products, that's a good place to go, I guess, for the Bible. There is something called John 1 and 2. All right, let's narrow it down a little bit. Okay, now that looks a little bit better. Now I can step up the size a little bit. Ah, man. It said in the beginning was the Word. And I want to quote this so that people will know what it says in the Bible. All right? So I got to tighten it up a little bit now. Okay. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Now, that's in the New International Version. The New International Version. However, if you look at some of the older ones, like for instance, let me see what we got here. I don't know if they still got all the versions. So you can see, let me bring it down to where you can see it. Okay, English and Spanish. Now, the Amplified Bible, the Common English Bible, Complete Jewish Bible, and I would like to show you guys a picture. It's the real Bible here. My wife got me this for a present. The Israel Bible. And this is really heavy. It's big. And it is all of the Old Testament writings, and not just the stuff that's in the... Also, you should notice that it opens exactly like the Quran from the opposite side, because this is the opening of it, and then you see when you open it out, the Hebrew is, on the side of the page, and then the English is on the inside. All right, so
but it reads just like the Arabic does, from the right to the left instead of left to right, because it is in fact the sister language to the Arabic. So it's not a strange thing that Allah revealed the Quran, which means recitation. That's what the word means. Quran means reciting or recitation. And so if you know about the Bible, about the real Bible, it was in parts. And first of all, the whole Bible didn't come with Adam. And the whole Bible didn't come with Abraham, because that wouldn't make any sense, because we didn't even have Moses at that time. So, and the whole Bible didn't come with Moses. And the whole Bible didn't come with Jesus, alayhi salam. But a composition of all of it was put together. Now, what Jesus did, and I'm telling you from experience of the Bible itself, because I used to dive into it for almost 50 years. And when you experience the Bible in the New Testament is so different from the Old Testament, because the Old Testament is always got he begat, he begat, he begat, the begatters, you know. But that's only twice in the New Testament. That's one in Matthew. This starts out with Matthew, and then the next one is in Luke. And they're giving the genealogy of Jesus. And how they come up with a genealogy to somebody that doesn't even have a father, I don't know. But anyway, it goes off on a tangent. And Luke, it goes way off from the one in Matthew. But that's not the subject tonight. I would just like to caution you, but to tell you that the translations, even of the Quran, and I have the Quran right here, this is translation of it, and it varies a little bit from some of the other translations. And like the word slay or slaughter is not in the Arabic. It is qital, which is combat. And the combating even unto death, yes, but not slaying or slaughtering, because that is in Arabic is boibeha, dabiha, bob. And that's not, that's cut the neck off of they cut the neck on the animals when you drain the blood out of them. But you don't do that to human beings. But you just fight them if they're fighting you, but you stop if they stop. But that again is not the topic for tonight. I just want you to be aware that translations are never, ever, ever exactly what they're supposed to be. In my mind, anyway, I was looking that the English was exactly the God's word. And then somebody told me one time that there was no English language at the time of Jesus. And I said, huh? What? What are you talking about? Well, yeah, because... Go ahead. What did you say?
I remember being in Texas with you, and we were there with our brother Brandon. And I remember he started laughing, and he said, I'm not sure if I was with you or with another from another Islam by Touch, but he said on the bumper sticker that he had read, and he said, if English is good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for us. Yeah, wow. And English wasn't even invented until like the 11th century or something. But yeah, you know, that's what
exactly in 1066, when the Normans invaded the Saxons, that was the beginning. in 1066. That was the beginning of the English language. And by the time that century ended in 1095, that is when the first translation came to the English language, but it didn't come from Muslims. It came from a Catholic bishop. Did you know that?
That's for the Bible.
No, I'm talking about the Quran.
Oh, the Quran, the first English
The
translation of the
Quran was translated by the Catholic Church so that they could instill in the soldiers the idea of, we got to go kill these Muslims. So they used the word slay or slaughter, and they said, these guys are going to slaughter us. And that was the beginning of the big problem, not the Jewish. The Jewish thing, they got inspired by Napoleon when he was trying to get, when he went to the northern Africa, all the way to Egypt, and he tried to get them enticed into what he was doing. He even made a shahada, but they canceled him out because they found out that he was just going to do the shahada to take over and charge everybody. Let's go for these guys. And no, they said no. Egyptians are not stupid. They are not stupid. The Egyptians are one of the most brilliant people on the planet. And I don't say that because one of them is the one that inspired me to check out my Bible and inspired me to check out the Quran. And he spent over 90 days, over 3 months, talking with me and helping me. And finally, I said, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to break into my story, but I'm going to tell you what he said. He said, this isn't about you and me. I said, huh? He said, no, it's about you and him. And he's pointing up like that. And I said, whoa. And then he told me that he said something very definite to me, very finite. And he said that if you have a better religion than me, I'm ready to go for it. And I thought right away, hey, you don't have to pray 5 times a day in Christianity. You don't have to stop and pray. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. And you sure don't have to fast the whole month. You can fast if you want to, or you don't have to. And you don't have to make... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Or just stay away from something you like. That's how some people fast. They just pick one thing and don't eat that anymore, and that's their fasting. They don't like ice. They stay away from ice cream for Lent, and that's their 40 days of fasting. They pick one thing.
Well, one of the priests, he told me, I was never a Catholic, by the way, but I worked with them very often because I was a chaplain. And what I found out that they had made Lent so that everybody could give up the thing that they loved the most for a month. And they told me, and he told me, that for one of the people, his constituents, or what do they call them? Anyway, he said that this guy had given up golf. And I said, huh? He said, yeah, he gave up golf for a whole month.
I could do that.
Yeah, you think?
I could give up golf. I've given it up for a couple of years. I should be right on par with him.
You're too much, man. You are really okay. So anyway,
he gave up golf.
So anyway, I want to come back to that. So he told me that if you have a better religion than I do, I'm ready to go for it. And I thought, oh man, I got it. And then he said, but, I said, huh? He said, but you have to have proof. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. This is not about proof. Christianity is about faith. Yeah, I like that. Faith, what it is, how it is. And then he said, actually, we have faith, but we have the proof to back up every single thing that we do. And I said, huh? And then before I thought about it, I said, you mean to sit there and tell me you can prove there's a God? He said, this is his comeback. He said, you mean you can't?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is, I was amazed, and I thought, I want to ask him, how can you prove it? But if I do that, then I'm on his playing field, and I don't want to do that. I want to stay where I am. Whoa. He can prove there's God? Oh, man, I'm taking it on faith. But he's saying, no, concrete evidence. Something you can hold in your hand. And I'm thinking, oh, man, whoa. And he comes up with, we didn't have these little, the small ones, soft covers at that time. What we had, he had a big Quran. I don't have one.
Oh, the huge Yusuf Ali ones, remember those? But
yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It was the Saudi version of the Yusuf Ali, because it said in it that it's difficult, and that it is difficult to translate one language into another, and especially with the Quran, so that they had an option. They could use something that was already done, or they could start from scratch and try to do it themselves. And they said, we didn't have that kind of time, and people were pressing us to get going. And so what we did, we looked at some of the words that were really alien in the Yusuf Ali translation, and then we came up with our own version. And then it was a better version came out with Muhsin Khan, and that one was really good. But then this one came out, Sahih International, and that one is so close to the Arabic. It's only about maybe 10 or 15 things that I don't really like about it, but the other one had hundreds.
Yeah, there was some interesting words that
yeah.
Scourge. That's a nice one. What a word that is. Scourge. Scourge them.
Scourge.
Scourge. Excuse me.
Scourge. Yeah. Scourge the women. Oh my God. Scourge is something that you do with whips and rip the guy's shirt off and strap him to the post on the ship, because it was reserved for those who were the mutinies, the mutineers. Yeah. I don't know if that's a word. Mutineer.
That's the word, mutineers. Isn't that the word, mutineers? Mutineers?
Anyway, they commit mutiny on the ship. They're turning everybody against the captain, and so the captain finds out about it, and then he ties this guy to the post, or he oversees the whole thing. And then a guy whips him and makes his back bleed, and then they throw salt water on it from a bucket, and then they throw him overboard to be eaten by the sharks.
Great.
Yeah, that's what scourging is all about. It's not a nice thing. It's not a nice thing at all.
Pretty salty after that, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, let's go back to the translations now. I'm going to put my glasses back on. I don't need glasses except to see. Anyway, that's supposed to be funny. Anyway, alhamdulillah.
I love that. I'll
sell for you, Shake. Every now and then I'll sell for you. I got you.
All right. So let me see. Well, let's go down to the L's. Legacy Bible. Oh, wait a minute. I think I missed something here. No, we need to go to the King James. That would be the K's. There's only one K? All right.
Oh.
King James Version.
There's only one.
All right. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. I'm trying to put it so that people could see this. Where is King James Version? There you go. Now, let's look at the, we're going to type in John 1, and let's see what we get. Okay. It did it again. Support free content. We use ads to keep our content free for you. Please allow ads, and then the sponsors will fund your surfing. Good luck. All right. Yeah. I can't even move it. That won't do it.
No.
All right. Well, I'm not going to give money, or I'm not going to accept ads, because we don't do that. Because it will show up on our screen. So I'm not going to do that. Let's Bible free, no ads. All right, let's see what happens. Well, this one says, open the App Store. Apple wants to open this application. You have to allow Apple to open links. All right. Well, I guess we have to put up our own Bible to, that seems fair to me, though. Okay, guys, I can't do it. I can't show you the Bibles now because they have so many ads. Huh. All right.
That's interesting.
You know what? Let me try it this way. I'm going to try it another way. John, I'll just type it in Google. John 1 and 1. There we go. Yeah. Hey, Google, it's my buddy, man. Woo-hoo.
Well, if you know the verse number, you just get it that way. You have to know the verse number for everything, though. Or can you go into it that way? Can you get into the actual?
That's what I did.
All right. There you go. The whole book.
Now, all right.
You Googled your way into
it. Wait a minute. I got to make it smaller. Nope, that's not going to work. Well, you can trust me to say what it is.
I believe you.
It said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. The other one, it said that somebody was God. I don't remember what it said now, but the Word became flesh, and that's in the NIV. Okay, it does have that. All right, Google has it. Hey, Google, you're doing good, man. So, all right, let's do that. John 1:1 NIV, the Word became flesh. It doesn't say that, and it said, the Word became flesh. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And in the Greek translation from the Aramaic, Jesus spoke Aramaic, by the way, And all revelation came to him in Aramaic from God. And that was what they translated into Greek. And then the Catholic Church 300 years later took over a sect of Christianity, because the Catholic Church was already in business before Jesus was ever born. It was a pagan church. But you already know about that, right?
Sure. It was just merged up with something else. It was already in existence before Jesus.
You were a Catholic, right?
I mean, I kind of was. I usually, when people ask me what I was before I was Muslim, I just say I was confused. Because nominally I was a Catholic, I guess, Irish Catholic, but we never practiced anything.
Well, okay, but Irish Catholic, the influence was some kind of Christianity, right?
Sure. Yeah, it was. You could say it that way. I had my little first communion thing, and I remember I fumbled it when they gave it to me. I fumbled it on the play, but I got it back, and I did the nominal things that you're supposed to do as, I guess, an Irish Catholic kid. I went to first communion, and every now and then someone would get married or someone would get buried, and I'd have to go to either or. So we would do that. But I mean, other than that, there wasn't much. But you're right, a Christian example would have been a Catholic one for me.
Okay, so in the Greek, this is my point. In the Greek, it does say that in the beginning was Word. That's how it's, the article the is added, okay? In the beginning was Word, and Word was with God, and the Word God. It didn't say was, because that's the past tense of a verb, was. But in English, it should be, if God is a living, it should say is God. But they made that mistake when they translated it. So God is living, obviously. And then we have Ayatul Kursi in the Quran about that second chapter, verse number 255. If you'd like to look it up. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Allahu la ilaha illahu al-hayyul qayyum. La ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm. Lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. Man dhalladhi yashfa'u indahu illa bi'idhni. Ya'lamu ma bayna aydihim wa ma khalfahum. Wa la yuhituna bi shay'in min ilmihi illa bima sha'a. Wasi'a kursiyyuhu samawati wal ard. وَلَا يَؤُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. So it starts out, and I'll give you a rough translation. It says, Allah, there is no other God worthy of worship except Him. Only Him. The ever-living. So He's always living. He doesn't die. He's not born. He's always was. He always will be. He is. I-S. He is God. All right? The ever-living, all-sustaining. He takes care of everything. Every single thing that lives and breathes, He's taking care of it. And everything that doesn't live and breathe, He's taking care of that too. The planets and their rotations and the things that come together and the things that split apart, all of that is up to Him. And then neither drowsiness nor sleep overtakes Him, because this is saying something about the first revelation. They had played with that one. In the beginning, this is Genesis. And obviously it was from God to start with, because all revelation has to start with God. Then people will change it or translate it and put in their feelings and their emotions and so on. And that doesn't work, because they put it in there that God rested on the seventh day, but He didn't say that. And in the Quran, He says it real clear that in 6 days He completed all of the creation of the universe. But a day at that time wasn't a day like we have 24 hours. And then he says, Huwa alladhi khalaqa as-samawati wal ard fi sitta ayom. And then he says, he astawa al-arsh. He was over his, well, I should translate that, okay? He's telling us that he created everything in Sitta Yom. Sitta means 6. Yom is day. Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement. That's Hebrew. But see, they have the same words, a lot of the same words. Anyway, so this is a proof about the real God. Why does he say he doesn't sleep and sleep doesn't overtake him? Drowsiness or sleep does not overtake him, because he's talking about these people who changed it and said that he rested on the 7th day. He didn't say that. He created everything in 6 periods of time, and then he astawa al-arsh. He rose over his throne. He didn't even sit on it. He's not laying out and like, I'm so tired, you know. He didn't do that. So that he's making it real clear. Anyway, so the word is with God. There's no problem with that. And God spoke the word, and then everything came into being. And when he spoke the word and gave life to Adam, he did that. So parts of the Bible are absolutely true. But I have compared for 2 years, I compared the Quran translation with the Bible translation. And then I started working with the Greek and Hebrew. So then I found out, this was mistake number 1, number 2, number 3. And all of a sudden I realized the Quran doesn't have mistakes. Even in the translations, it's pretty close to the original, because then I learned the Arabic language and I studied that, and I'm still studying it. I don't know anything right now, you know, but I tried, and I found there was something you could put the Bible and the Quran together. You could do that. And where the Quran agreed with the Bible, but when the Quran did not agree with the Bible, you could find the same contradictions in the Bible. No contradictions in the Quran, but the Bible arguing with itself on the points where you say, well, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound like Islam. Well, you read and read and read. And now I'm working on this one right here, the Israel Bible. So that's only the Old Testament. And the Talmud is here, and the books of the Apocrypha are here. And my wife got me all of those books of the Apocrypha before this. Anyway, so we got to take a break right now, and we'll be right back right after this break, guys. So stay tuned and stay guided with Guidus TV. Okay. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay.
A way of life, a way of life, a way of life, a way of life. Islam is a way of life, a complete way. A way of life, a way of life, a way of life, a way of life. Islam is a way of life, a complete way.
Guide Us TV, watched by many, loved by all. New Muslims, young Muslims, born Muslims, non-Muslims, all enjoy it. Guide Us TV, never ads, always free. Let's keep it free, no ads. Support and share, and get guided with Guide Us TV.
And we are back, mashallah ta'ala. I would like to encourage you guys, if you would, I don't want to ever take ads like you just saw in the first part of our program tonight. We saw ads even on Google, and how can we escape that? I want to keep this free, ad-free, and free for the people to know what is Islam. For Muslims, non-Muslims, people that are even attacking Islam, let them come and figure out for themselves. Islam is a balance. It's not this way or that way. It's a balance. It's so balanced. And the proof for that is in the Quran itself. Yeah. If you look at chapter 2, that's where it says about the balance. It says, Ummatun wasitin. What is wasta? It means balance. Okay? Ummah is a nation that is balanced. We're not too this much, we're not too much that. We stay balanced. And guess where it is? There's 286 verses in that particular surah or chapter of the Quran. And right in the middle, which would be 143. 143 plus 143 is 286. Right?
That's right.
That
that
is
one.
exactly where it is.
MashaAllah. Right in the middle. Right there.
Yep. So I would like everybody to know that we do very much honor the Bible. We don't burn it. We don't play with it. We know that the Bible in English is not the Bible that Jesus had. It's not the Bible that Musa alayhi salam, Moses had, or Abraham had, or any of the prophets. They didn't have the English because there was no English at that time. The English wasn't invented until 400 years after the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he was the last and the final of all of the messengers to Almighty God. All of them were calling to Almighty God. Every single one of them. They didn't say, worship me, give me money, give me women, give me, no. None of the prophets did that. None of them. Some of them Allah made real rich, and some of them He made very poor. But that was their own particular test that they had. And if anybody comes to Islam and says, oh, I came to Islam for the money, or I came to Islam for the free eats, or, a place to stay, I love it, it's so easy. Okay, this guy is way off. Because whenever you come into Islam, you will be tested for sure. For sure. You will be tested with the things that you love the most. I have no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
Well, you know what? We have Abu Hafsa with us right now. So tell us about some of the things that they could expect if they come to Islam.
Well, we hear the common, stories of having to deal with relatives and non-Muslim relatives. And not all of them are going to be happy about that. Some of them are going to be really upset that they become Muslim. I know stories of brothers who were offered apartments actually to live in and to rent or to own for life if they left Islam. And of course, Allah promises you a place in paradise, and apartments are only going to get older and moldier. Older and moldier, but apartments in Jannah are going to last forever. And this is the thing. But this life entirely is a test as well. That Allah has given us this whole life as a test. Whether you enter Islam, you could lose relatives, you could lose businesses. I know a brother who his dad used to work up here in Canada in the Ontario Liquor Board. That's not exactly what it's called, but that's what it is. It's a liquor board. I don't want to call it what it's actually called, because I don't want to give them any representation. But they govern the alcohol in the province of Ontario. And this brother, his dad, was a auditor for them, and he offered him a job doing that, to audit the different liquor stores in the province here. And this would have been a whole career for him, and it would have been able to parlay probably into a decent retirement and some kind of plan and benefits. And the brother didn't want to face Allah, aiding and abetting the selling of alcohol. And that was a huge thing, and may Allah reward him for that. There's all kinds of tests that are going to come to you, the test of the wealth, the test of the lack of wealth, the test of losing your job, as he did. He became homeless because of that. Now, of course, he gives lectures with us, and you know him, Sheikh. We've met him several times.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You have.
So there's lots of different things.
You hit the nail on the head, man. Because
on the head?
Yeah, this is the reality of what we're talking about right now. And let's see if I can pull it up.
And Allah even said that. Do you think you won't believe and you'll just be left and not be tested?
I'm trying to put that one up right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put that up, but I'm having problems with Google. All right, let's see what I can do. All right, well, this will suffice. This is Surah Ankabut, or a chapter called The Spider, and it said, and will not be put to a test. Yeah. It is derived from the word fitna, and it is explaining. So, do the people think that they will enter in Islam and not be tested? Yeah. For sure. Especially like the prophets and the pious and the people before us, they were tested as well. And this is a confirmation that you will be tested. And if you didn't believe that, just come to Islam and find out. You will be tested.
Yep. This is the only faith I remember as a Christian. I never had issues with like waswasa or whispering during my prayers. I remember being able to pray silently and not have any issues. And as soon as I became a Muslim and I'm praying, I'm getting distracting thoughts. And there's a hadith about this. The companions of the Prophet ﷺ used to come to him and they would say the same thing. That shaitan doesn't bother them when they were praying to idols and made up dates and whatnot. And the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, what does shaitan have with a dilapidated house? Like, what need does it have with a dilapidated house? The fact that you're praying now to Allah, your first test is probably going to be to be able to pay attention. Because shaitan's going to remind you of all the different things that you need to do right now, and all the different stuff that has to be done right now. Imagine. When you're asleep in your bed, he's telling you how much time you have. As soon as you say, Allahu Akbar, he's reminding you of how much time you don't have. This has never happened to me before. And that's another reason, that kind of reminded me that Islam is the truth. I've never been fought in my prayers. before as a non-Muslim. Like spiritually fought him.
Yes. Now I have it up on the screen. I'm going to try it again. It says, Ahasib nas an yutraku an yakulu amana wa hum la yu'minun. And it says, do the people think that they will be left alone to say, we believe, and they will not be tried? Then it goes on to the next verse, and that one is saying, I got to pull it up. I hope I don't get any ads with it. All right, yeah. But we certainly have tried those before them, and Allah will surely make evident those who are truthful, and He will surely make evident the liars. Now, we talked about the we last night, or us, but Allah never says them, never says them, or He does say He, and He does say the royal plural. This is we. But He's not talking about anybody but Himself. There's no partner with God. Anyway.
When it comes to worship, He specifically doesn't use those. He just, He specifically refers to Himself as one. Alhamdulillah.
Yes, yeah. I just thought I'd share that with everybody so that you know that we believe in the original Bible, but we don't know where it is. They lost that a long, long time ago, but they do have some of the parts that were memorized, because people used to do exactly with the Bible that they do with the Quran today. They memorized it and memorized it and memorized it and passed it on and passed it on. And they used to, on Jubilee, they would dig it up. They would pack it down in the ground and cover it up, and then they would dig it up every, 50 years, 75 years, something like that. And then they would dig it up on Jubilee, and then somebody would hold that, and then it's called the holding the book on somebody, and they would listen to them recite and be sure that they didn't get away from what they had. And unfortunately, the Bible tells us exactly what happened. During the Babylonian exile, they lost the Ark of the Covenant and all of its contents. And what do you think was in the Ark of the Covenant? The Bible. Yeah, so that was the total. And in the Babylonian exile, one of the people who was really fascinated about this, he went to the different tribes and listened to what they said. And one tribe would tell it this way, and one tribe would tell it that way. So you can look in the book of Genesis and find out one of the chapters in the book of Genesis said only 2 of any beast came on the ship with Noah. All right? 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. But when you go to another chapter, you find out it's 6 of the 6 pairs of the clean animals, and then only 2 of the dirty animals, and so on and so on. And that's not in the first book, but why is it there? It's kind of confusing, because one of them had heard this way. That tribe had, the tribes of Judah, the tribes of Yusuf, the tribes of so and so, they all had, there were 12 tribes. And so this was one, by the way, that number 12 comes up a lot. You know what I mean? That, yeah. Like if you look at a dice, the dice has 6 and 6, and then you throw it, and if you get box cars, that's what they call box cars. That is the number 12. Anyway, but that is all related back to the tribe of 12, the 12 tribes. Anyway, that's not
I didn't
important.
know that.
Yeah, well, it's.
I know there's something about some boxcars. I didn't know if it was related to that though. Alhamdulillah. Allah keep us from such things.
Well, it's I don't know where the word boxcars came from, but I do know that the number 12 is a magic number, so and so, and they really push that. Number 7 is a big thing to a lot of people. But in Islam, we don't say anything about numbers except number 1. God is one. God is one. And you will see me in all the pictures that we make. I always hold up one finger. I never do this because this, wait a minute. Yeah, this is the 2 horns of the devil, holding up the 2 horns. That is, supposedly this is the peace sign, but that's another equivalent to this 2 horns of the devil.
I think the Texas State. Is that what they do? Come on, Shake. I know about that a little bit.
No, wait a minute. That's hook 'em horns.
Yeah.
Hook 'em horns. Hook 'em.
Hook 'em horns. I know a little bit about that.
I didn't know that you were going to bring that up, man. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I know a little bit about that, Shake.
Anyway, I want to go back to the Bible. We do believe, according to the Quran itself, and it starts with Alif Lam Mim. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك. That's right there is talking about what is revealed to you, sent down, and what is sent down to the people before you. So pay attention to that, and you can check it out. A Free Quran, just go to afreequran.com and we'll send you one of these. Fill it out, give us your address, and we'll send you one. And we're trying to get it faster and faster. It used to take us a week and a half to 2 weeks, but we're trying to do it a lot faster now with Amazon and all these guys. We have a lot of competition. So get your own copy of the Quran and see if you agree. Just read it. This is a translation. It'll be in English. And pretty much, I think it'll inspire you. Check out your Bible and check out this book with it and see what you think. That's as simple as we can get. Tell everybody goodbye. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Get guided. Guidance TV.
All right. Yeah.
Guidus TV, watched by many, loved by all. New Muslims, young Muslims, born Muslims, non-Muslims, all enjoy it. Guidus TV, never ads, always free. Let's keep it free, no ads. Support and share, and get guided with Guidus TV.